Class, today is our last day of lecture in taxation and we will talk about tax filing. Basically, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-fill out ng BIR forms. And FYI, for the past 2 board exams, lagi may nilalagay na ganyan si BOA. Okay? So, ang ganito nangyayari dyan. Since multiple choice tayo sa boards, ang ginagawa ni BOA, nag-attach siya ng BIR forms and then tatanong sa'yo, for line item, let's say number 25, how much yung ilalagay mo sa form? For line item number 30, how much yung ilalagay mo sa form? Ganun siya. Mahirap sagutin yung mga questions if hindi ka marunong mag-fill out ng BIR form. So, kaya kailangan aralin natin yan. Okay? So, class, download nyo muna yung forms, in-upload nyo yan sa Facebook group natin, and open nyo rin yung G-Sheets kasi diyan ko naman nilagay yung given na gagamitin natin to fill out the forms. Fill out natin forms for individuals, corporations, estate, and VAT. So, lahat ng major types of taxes. Alright? So, class, yung format natin today is different. Mr. Accounting format tayo para kitang-kita mo yung pag-fill out ng forms natin. O, sabayan mo ako mag-fill out, ha? Okay? Class, for today, mag-fill out tayo ng BIR forms. Ay, pumili ako ng 5 BIR forms na I think pinaka-important, yun yung ituturo ko sa inyo. Alright? Now, magsisimula tayo sa individuals. So, yung order ng pag-fill out natin ng forms, depende kung ano yung order ng pagtuturo ko in class. Okay? So, individuals muna, corporations, etc. Okay? Now, take note na yung binigay kong given dito, mamaya ililipat natin yan sa BIR form, nilagay ko na rin kung paano siya kinompute yung tax. Okay? Kasi nga again, hindi naman natin focus ngayon yung computation. Kasi alam mo na yan, nag-aaral na tayo in class. Yung focus natin is paano mo siya ilalagay dito sa form natin. Okay? Sige. So, let's start with the individuals. Yung ginawa kong illustration is mixed income earner. Ayan, para mas comprehensive. O pag sinabi mong mixed income, well, basically, nag-earn siya from employment and from business. And also, class, as you notice, iba yung format ng, iba yung setup natin ngayon. Mr. Accounting setup tayo. Para kitang-kita mo yung kung paano fini-fill out yung forms. Alright? Now, basically, at least 2 forms yung kailangan mong i-fill out pag individual na mixed income earner ka. BIR form 1701, which is basically this one. Okay, yung 1701, in yung annual income tax return, which applies to individuals, including mixed income earner, estates, and trusts. Because we learned in class na yung estates and trusts, taxable sila, same as individuals. Okay? And then later, yung second form na i-fill out natin, mamaya, yung BIR form 2316. Okay? So, ito yung mga assumptions. So, may employed siya, kumita siya for the year, yung compensation income niya, 1.2 million, 13-month pay and other benefits, 130,000, and then creditable withholding tax, 262,000. Sir, ano ulit yung CWT? Naalala nyo, yung employer nyo, sila yung nag-withhold ng tax mo, every cut-off yun, okay? Every pag-receive mo ng paycheck mo, okay, babawasan na yun ng creditable withholding tax. So, yung binawa sa kanya is 262,000. Okay? So, may racket din siya ng business, nagbenta siya ng 2.5 million, cost of sales 1.5, expenses niya is 700,000. Okay? So, kinompute ko na para sa inyo. Compute muna natin yung employment dun sa income from employment. Okay? Gross compensation income, so inad ko yung 1.2 plus 130, nakukuha yung 1,330,000. Diba, meron tayong exempt na 90,000, alala nyo yan? Minus mo yan, makukuha mo yung taxable compensation income. And then, yung ginamit natin yung tax table, yung first 800,000 daw, lagyan mo ng 130. And then yung excess of 800 times 30%, 132. 130 plus 132, 262,000. Yung tax due niya from employment income. Actually, ito siya, yung creditable withholding tax. Okay? So, properly na-withhold naman yan nung employer, nung taxpayer natin. Right? From business, ang assume natin is nag-avail siya ng income tax rate option of 8%. Ayan. So, gross sales na 2.5 times 8%. Kuha natin yung tax due na 200,000. Right? So, 262 plus 200, 462. Yung 262 dyan, na-withhold na yan. Tama? Na-withhold na yan, no? Hindi ang payable pa niya is 200,000. Alright? So, ito yung assumption natin. Magre-refer back tayo dito as we fill out our BIR form. Okay, let's start with 1701. Again, annual income tax return siya for individuals. Ayan. So, start muna tayo dito sa for the year. Okay, syempre, 2020. 2020. Ayan. Amended return? No. Kasi first time mo mag-file ng return eh. Okay, amended, ibig sabihin parang may babaguhin ka dun sa previously filed return mo. Short period return? No. Pag sinabi mo short period return, yun yung nag-operate ka lang for less than 12 months. Parang ganun. So, hindi. Kasi 12 months naman tayo. So, no yan. Alright? Next natin is taxpayer identification number or TIN. Class yung TIN is 9 digits. Okay? Yung mag-assign sa'yo niyan kung saan kang RDO, yung jurisdiction mo. Okay? So, let's say, para simplify natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? 1 TIN per taxpayer. Yun yung rule dyan. Ha? Alright, RDO code. Ayan, dapat alam mo kung ano yung RDO code mo. Available naman yan sa BIR website, madaling hanapin yan. Pero in Quezon City, 039 yung RDO code or RDO 39. Taxpayer type, single proprietor, professional, estate, trust, compensation. Dito tayo sa single proprietor. Alright? Okay. So, Next is alphanumeric tax code. As you notice class, ito yung iba-ibang klaseng taxpayer yan. Pag compensation income ka lang, ito ka. Okay? Business income, pwede kang graduated, pwedeng 8%. Income from profession, di ba yung income from profession, same lang yung tax nun as business income. Tama? So pwedeng graduated, pwedeng 8%. Okay? Mixed income na graduated and 8%. Doon tayo sa mixed income na 8%. Alright? So yeah. Okay, taxpayer's name. Sino kaya gagamitin ko? Sino ba kamukha akong celebrity? Sige, para realistic, si John Lloyd na lang. Okay? So, ang pangalan na lang niya is John Lloyd de la Cruz. Ayan. So, taxpayer's name, last name, first name, middle name. O, de la Cruz muna. De la Cruz. Okay? And then, kama, John Lloyd. Ayan. Alright. Registered address. Kung gusto nyo kami bisitahin, Pinnacle, pwede. Lagay natin yung address dito. 128 Maginhawa Street. For example, dito nakatira si John Lloyd. Ayan. Teachers Village. Quezon City. Ayan. Quezon City. Okay. Next is zip code. Dapat alam mo din yung zip code. So yung zip code sa area dito is 1101. Date of birth. So let's say pinanganak si John Lloyd December 12, 1985. Yan. Email address. Sabihin natin na JL De La Cruz @gmail.com. Okay. Citizenship. Ayan, Filipino. And claiming foreign tax credits, no. Contact number, lagyan na natin ng 0917-1234567. Ayan. Single pa rin si John Lloyd. If married, spouse has income, hindi. Joint filing, separate filing. Exempt from income tax, no. Subject to preferential tax rate, no. Okay. Tax rate, graduated or 8%? Assume natin mag 8% siya. Method of deduction, itemized or optional? Well, actually, pag 8%, alam natin, based naman sa gross sales yun, tama. Pero pipili ka dyan, so let's say itemized. Okay? Now, pumapansin nyo class, dun sa upper portion of this form, puro ano muna yan, basic details muna of the taxpayer. Dito, basically class, summary yan. Para unang tingin pa lang ni BIR, alam na niya kung ano yung laman nito. Okay, yung mga details dun sa mga succeeding pages yan. Alright? Sige, so, tax due. Ayan. From part 6, item 5. Actually, yun yung mga reference, yung mga nasa parenthesis na yun. For example, ito part 2. Okay? So, part 6, nandito yun. Mamaya, fill out natin yun. Pero since nag-compute naman tayo earlier, yung tax due natin is 462,000. Tama? 462,000. So, dyan natin lagay yan. 462,000. Right? So, ito yung mga guide nila. Yung may black na line na ganun. Para alam mo kung ilang digits. Okay? So, guide lang siya. Total tax credits payments. Meron tayo niyan kasi nagbayad na tayo ng withholding tax na 262,000. Withhold na ni employer yan, 262,000. So, tax payable, kailangan pong magbayad ni John Lloyd ng 200,000. Okay, portion of the tax payable allowed for second installment, wala niyan. Amount of tax payable, okay, so copy-paste lang. Actually, mga walang numbers, pwede mo lagyan ng 0. Okay, yun yung mas appropriate. Okay, so since magbabayad tayo on time, walang interest, walang surcharge, walang compromise, total penalties, 0. Okay, total amount payable is still 200,000. Alright. And aggregate amount payable or overpayment. So, as you notice class, merong spouse dito. Ayan. So, dito mo ilalagay yung total. Okay. Since single naman to, 200,000 yan. Copy mo lang yan. 200,000. Alright. And dito sa baba, basically, pirmahan lang yan. So, lagay mo yung pangalan ni John Lloyd dyan. Si John Lloyd de la Cruz. And then, magsasign lang siya dyan. Okay. Got it? So, basically class, basic information of the taxpayer here. And dito yung summary. Okay, para isang tingin lang. Okay, alam na ni BIR kung magkano yung kailangan mong bayaran pa sa kanya. So, yeah, let's go to the second page. Okay, dito makikita yung page number. So, page 2. Ayan, sa taas. Page 2. Ayun. And sa second page, basically, starting second page 2 onwards, yung mga details na lang yan. Okay? Nilagay ko na agad yung team and yung last name para efficient tayo. Hindi ko pa ulit-ulit na isulat yan. Okay, yung next part is background information of spouse. So, yung single naman, pwede mong hindi napansinin yan. Alright? Skip na tayo dyan. Actually, class, yung second page, since mixed income earner siya, dito yung para sa employment income niya. Okay? So, mag-start tayo with part 5. Okay? So, part 4, part 5. Computation of tax. Alright? So, class, again, yung goal dito for BIR forms, para lang maging familiar ka. Siyempre, hindi naman sa municipality, di ka naman mag-fill outan ng forms eh. Okay? Dapat lang familiar ka. Okay? Kasi nagtatanong, ang ginawa sa municipality, may naka-attach na form, tapos may pinapa-navigate, something like that. Maglalagay ako sa pre-boards natin para may idea ako paano nangyari doon. Okay? And then, ayan. So, parang twice na yata nagbigay nun. So, kailangan alam natin kung paano sagutin yan. Alright? So, for this one is for the employment. So, nakalagay gross compensation income. Name of employer. Okay? So, si taxpayer ka. Again, di yung spouse. Let's say, employed siya ni Pinnacle. Ayan, Pinnacle Corporation. Pinnacle Corporation. Yun. Okay. And then, PIN, let's say, 987654321. Okay, lagyan natin ang 000. Pero 9 digits yung TIN na yan. Alright? Sige. Compensation income, gross compensation income and total tax withheld for taxpayer. Alright, so tingnan natin yung given natin dito. Okay, so total compensation income is 1,330,000. Okay? Yan, 1,330,000. So lagay natin siya dito. 1,330,000. Okay? And total tax withheld for taxpayer, naalala nyo, ang withhold sa atin is 262,000. So, lagay natin siya dito, 262,000. Gross compensation income and total tax withheld for spouse. Skip mo na yan, for spouse yan. Tama? Okay, so gross compensation income from Part 5, Schedule 1, Item 3A, 3BC. Kung mapansin nyo, class again, reference yan, yung mga nasa parenthesis, para mas madali yan, ha? So, for example, ito, sabi, from Part 5, ito yung Part 5, oh, Schedule 1, Item 3A. Ito yun, ibig sabihin, 3A, ito siya. Okay, ito rin siya. So, sulat lang natin yan. So, 1,330,000. Okay. Ito yung sa spouse. So, ignore mo na lang yan. Less non-taxable exempt compensation. How much ulit yung exempt? 90,000. 90,000. Taxable compensation, item 4 less item 5. So, item 4 less item 5. 1,330 minus 90, 1,240,000. So, as you notice, class, maganda naman yung mga BIR forms. Sa una, nakaka-overwhelm siya tingnan. Pero, properly guided ka naman dyan. Susundin mo lang yung nasa parentheses na yan. Okay? Tax due compensation income. Okay, so sa compensation income, earlier na-compute natin is 262,000. So, lagyan natin dito, 262,000. Alright? Okay, dito class, sa Schedule 3, taxable business income, kapag ang in-apply mo yung graduated income tax rates, naalala nyo, nag 8% income tax rate option tayo, tama? Di mo gagamitin yan. Okay? Mamaya sa corporations, itemized naman yung gagawin natin, or walang graduated income tax doon. Itemized gagawin natin doon. Right? Sa corporation, mapakita ko later. But, if ang ginawa mo dito, nag-graduated income tax ka din, magkasama siya. Compensation, dito yung graduated income tax. So, lagay mo lang yung sales dyan. Okay? Diba, meron tayong sales dito. 2.5, cost of sales, business expenses. Dito mo ilalagay yun. Sales, okay, cost of sales, deductions, ordinary deductions. Okay? Ito may OSD, pipili ka lang dyan, etc. Anyway, i-illustrate ko yan sa corporation. So, ang point is, kapag ang ginawa mo, graduated income tax table, basically, yung compensation income mo and yung business income mo, sa same page yan. Okay? Kasi pareho silang subject dun sa tax table. Right? Ganun yun. Since dito hindi, tuloy-tuloy lang natin. Total taxable income, compensation and business, sum of items 6 and 23. Ito yung 6. Tama? Yun o, 6. And 23. 23, 0 naman yan. Hindi 1,240,000 din yan. 1,240,000. Sorry, tatong ba? Yan, 1,240,000. Total tax due, okay? Part 6, item 1, o basically, yun yung 262,000. 262,000. Got it? Ganyan na siya, simple. Next, actually, mahaba-haba yung form pagdating sa 1701. Nasa page 3 na tayo. So, nilagay ko na rin dito yung TIN and yung tax filer's last name. Last name na lang, ha? Nakalagay last name. Ayan. For this one naman, class, yun yung 8% flat rate. Okay? So, as you notice, yung previous section, again, kapag income tax table ka. Pag nag-flat rate ka, doon ka sa next page. Tama? And yung rule natin doon, class, ang basis nun is yung gross sales. Gross sales na 2.5 million times 8%. Nakuha natin yung 200,000 kanina. Right? So, sales, revenues, receipts, lagay natin dito 2.5 million. Okay? Add other operating income. Naalala nyo nung lesson natin ng individuals? Nakalagay, add other non-operating income. Okay? Tapos saka natin multiply sa 8%. Wala tayong other non-operating income, 0 yan. So, ibig sabihin, copy-paste lang natin yan. 2.5 million. Alright? Allowable deduction, meron ka ba nun? May allowable deductions ka ba kapag 8%? Wala. Based on gross income yan. Okay? So, taxable income, copy lang din natin yan. Total due, business income. So, 2.5 times 8%, na-compute natin earlier, is 200,000. Lagay natin 200,000. Okay. Total tax due, compensation and business income. So, ito yung business income, 200,000. Ano yung compensation income? Kanina, na-compute natin 262. Right? Kaya nakalagay dito, class, kung mapapansin mo, sum of item 7 and 31. Ano yung 7? Ayun, no? item 7, tama? Yun yung item 7. Item 31, ito siya. Di 200 plus 262 for 62,000. So pag nalilito ka, again, ang magandang guide dyan, yung mga parenthesis na yan. Susundin mo lang yan. Tama? Okay, ito yung sa spouse, ignore mo na lang yan. Ito yung pag may nag-graduated income tax table, dito mo lalagay yung mga deductions mo. Okay, yung mga allowable itemized deductions. Dito yan. Sa corporations, naka-itemize tayo. Mamaya i-illustrate ko sa yan. Okay? Ito yung special, allowable, wala tayo niyan. Tapos, to simplify, huwag na tayo maglagay ng mga null ko na yan. Kasi again, hindi naman natin goal dito. Kung computation, di na. Alam ko, master na master yun yung computation. Yung goal natin dito is maging familiar tayo, maging comfortable tayo sa pag-fill out ng BIR forms. Right? Sige. Yung last page, ito, FYI na lang yan, class. Sa last page, makikita nyo dito, kasi 4 pages yung annual income tax return. Meron kang null ko dyan. Okay, again, huwag na tayo mag-null ko. No? Huwag na tayo mag-null ko dyan. And then, meron kang summary of income tax due. Meron pala. Nalagay pa tayo dun sa summary of income tax due. Okay. So, regular rate. So, alam natin, yung total tax due natin is 462,000. So, lagay lang natin dito yan. 462,000. Okay. And then, special rate, wala tayo niyan. Total income tax due, 462,000. Alright. Next. So, ito yung summary ng income tax due. Okay. 462,000. Ito naman, tax credits. May applicable ba sa atin dito? Excess credits, tax payment for the first 3 quarters. So let's say, huwag natin lagay yan to simplify yung illustration natin. Creditable withholding tax, yun. Yung withhold ng employer mo. Asan yun? Ito, 262,000. So nalagay natin yan. So yung creditable withholding tax, 262,000. Okay, total tax credits. So total lang natin to 262,000. Alright? So ganun siya simple. Okay. And tax relief, wala tayo niyan. And ito class, take note na lang ha. Merong sa part 9 or last part of the Form 1701, meron siyang reconciliation. I-recon mo yung net income per books and yung taxable. Tama? Parang sa FAR, yung, di ba, nagko-compute ka doon ng yung taxable income, yung accounting income and taxable income, yun yung reconciliation. Pinapagawa rin dito. Okay? So, yeah. So, i-recap natin kung ano yung makikita sa 1701. Again, basically, yung 1701 is for individuals. Merong annual, merong quarterly. Ito yung annual. Yung quarterly halos ganito lang din, kaya huwag natin illustrate yun para maging efficient yung discussion natin. And ito yung basic details of the taxpayer. Ito yung summary ng kailangan niyang bayaran. Okay? Sa first page, makikita mo na agad lahat yun. Sa second page, makikita mo yung computation ng compensation income niya. Kasi ito yung mixed income earner, si John Lloyd de la Cruz. Doon naman sa third page, basically yung business income. Okay? So business income yan, 8%. Alright? Pag hindi nag-8%, pag nag-itemized siya or nag-graduated income tax, lalagyan mo rin itong mga, dito yung allowable itemized deductions. In that case, ignore mo naman to. Alright? Depende kung ano yung pinili mo. Okay. And yung last page naman, ayan, may mga NOLCO, may tax relief availment, may reconciliation, okay na tayo dyan. Summary of income tax due, so basically pinaulit lang yung 462,000 natin and yung withhold na 262,000. Okay? So that's how you fill out BIR form 1701. Di ba madali lang class? So una lang. Kaya ang suggestion ko dito, syempre pag di-download mo yung forms, sumabay ka mag-fill out sa akin. Okay? Sabayan mo ka mag-fill out. So maganda syempre kung i-print mo yung mga forms na yan. Okay? Sige, let's proceed to the next form. Ano yung next natin? Next natin is, teka, check ko muna. Next natin is Form 2316. Okay. Kunin ko lang. 2316. Yung Form 2316 class, doon pa rin sa individuals yan. So basically, yung related sa compensation niya. So if you remember, ito yung sa compensation niya, di ba? Yung 1.2, 130,000 and 262,000. So si employer, ayan, si employer, ipe-prepare niya to. Okay? In your behalf. So, siya yung bahala dito. So, Form 2316. Sige, fill out natin yan. For the year 2020. Anong about it, sir? Yung name ng 2316 na yan? Certificate of Compensation. Okay, Compen. Tax withheld. Right. For the period, nakalagay month and day. Okay. Ayan. So, January 1. January 1 January 1 to December 31. Ayan. Okay. Next, yung team ni John Lloyd de la Cruz, si 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lagyan natin ng 3 0 dyan. Okay. And then, employee's name. Okay, employee's name. Susundin mo na lagi yung format. Last, first, and middle. Okay. So, de la Cruz, John Lloyd. Ayan. RDO code, 039. Okay, very important dyan class ha. Kasi may penalty yan pag mali ka ng payment mo or filing mo, maling RDO, magkaka-penalty ka niyan. Registered address, 128 Maguinawa Street. Ayan, Quezon City. Zip code niyan is 1101. Okay. And what else? Date of birth. Ano yung nilagay ko kanina? December 12, 1985. Alright. And then contact number 0917-123-4567. Ayan. Huwag niyong kontakin. Baka mag-ring yan, ha? Ayan. So, statutory minimum wage, wala. Hindi applicable sa atin yung minimum wage earners na yan. Doon tayo sa employer information. Ito yung sa employee. Ito yung employer. Okay? So, sa employer, PIN muna niya lalagay natin. So, lagay natin 987-654-321. Okay. Sino nga ba yung employer's name? So, ano yun? Nilagay natin is Pinnacle Corporation. Ayan. Registered address. Kung sa 128 siya nakatira, sabihin natin 129. Ayan, magkatabi lang sila. 129 Maginhawa Street, Quezon City. Ayan. And zip code, 1101 din siya. Type of employer, main employer. TIN. Hindi. Ito yung employer information previews. Okay? Kung merong within the year, January 1 to December 31, let's say dalawa yung naging employer mo. Or before ka lumipat dito sa Pinnacle Corporation, employed ka sa iba for that year. Lalagay mo dito yan. Right? Sige. Next. Actually, ito na yung summary. No? Gross compensation income. Take note class, sa gross compensation income, ilalagay mo dyan yung buo kasama yung 13-month pay mo. Right? So, lahat ng na-receive mo basically. 1.2 plus 130,000. So, 1,330,000. Right? Less total non-taxable exempt. Ano ba yung exempt? 90,000. So, 1,330 minus 90, 1,240,000. Okay. Taxable income from previous employer. Wala tayo niyan. Gross taxable compensation income, 1,240,000. Yung mga ibang fields, lalagay mo ng 0 para mas maayos. Okay. Tax due natin, na-compute natin earlier. Ilan yung class? 262,000. Okay. 262,000. Amount of tax withheld, present employer. Ang withhold niya, 262. Previous employer, wala tayo niyan. Total amount of taxes withheld as adjusted. So, sum of items, 25A and 25B. So, plus mo daw yung dalawa. 262,000. Alright? Okay. So, dito class, dun sa right part, right-hand side of the form, ito naman yung mga details na. Right? Kung mapapansin nyo class, isang page lang, yung 2316. Ayan. So, madali siyang i-fill out. Unlike yung kanina, 4 pages, ito, 1 page lang. Okay. Non-taxable, exempt, compensation income. Alin daw yung hindi taxable? Okay, exempt eh. Meron ba tayo nun? Yes, ito yung 90,000, exempt yan eh. Tama? Basic salary, hindi yan exempt, taxable lahat yan. Holiday pay, 0. Overtime, 0. Night shift, 0. Hazard pay, 0. 13th month pay natin, 90,000. Lalagay mo dyan yun. Okay, yun yung non-taxable. De minimis, 0. SSS, salaries, total. So, total mo sila, 90,000. Tama ba? Total non-taxable exempt. O, tama, 90,000. Ayan. Taxable compensation income. Nakalagay basic salary. So, sa basic salary, 1.2 million na lalagay mo. Okay? Huwag mo isasama yung 30th month. 1.2 lang. Right? So, 1.2 million basic salary. Representation, 0, 0. Cost of living allowance, wala yan. Pag others, ilagay mo lang dyan. Commission, profit sharing, fees. Taxable, 13th month yun. Dito yung medyo nakakalito. Kasi nakalagay, taxable, 13th month. Kung maalala mo class, yung total na 13th month is 130,000. Okay? And then, yung nilagay natin dito, yung non-taxable na 90. Ano yung taxable? Eh di 130 minus 90. 40,000 lalagay mo dyan. Alright? So, take note na lang doon. Hazard, 0. Overtime, 0. Okay, so 1.2 plus 40, 1,240. Ayun, 1,240 equal siya dito. Ayun, 1,240. Kaya nakalagay dito, from item 50. Actually, yung mas appropriate na gawin, unahin mo to. Kasi ito yung details eh. Tapos, nakalagay dito, from item 50, saka mo siya i-copy-paste na gano'n. Alright? Pero since na-compute naman natin earlier, or beforehand, okay, yun na natin yung summary. Pero basically, summary to. Ito yung details na. Okay? Sige. Next is, dito sa baba, present employer. So, kung sino man yung authorized representative ni Pinnacle Corporation, lagay natin dyan. Pipirma lang siya dyan. Alright? So, employee, dito si John Lloyd de la Cruz, pipirma siya dyan. And then, magpe-present lang siya ng ID. So, you fill out yung details ng ID. Tapos, kung kailan yung signature, okay na yun. Huwag natin nila isama yun sa illustration natin. Okay? Mahalaga, alam natin yung ilalagay sa mga important parts of the form. Okay? Pirma dito. Yung present employer, pirma yung employee. Alright. So, to recap, yung form 2316 is for compensation income. Okay? Since mixed income earner siya, kailangan merong prepare sa employer na form 2316. So, basic details, as usual, yun muna yung una. And then, una mo makikita dito, or yung second na makikita mo, is the summary. Alright? Kasi ganun, mapapansin mo class ganun sa mga BIR forms. Yung pinaka front page, dapat nandun na agad lahat ng important. Yung summarized form na. So, ito yung summary. Total compensation, Okay, yes, total gross compensation income, tinanggal natin yung exempt, 240. In-apply natin yung tax table, nakuha natin yung tax due niya, 262,000. Now, we need to hold the employer yan. Okay? Dito, tandaan mo lang, non-taxable yung nakalagay dyan. Dito naman, taxable. Right? So, kaya, yung taxable dito, yung total na taxable dyan, yun, mapupunta dun. Got it? Okay? Yun, done na tayo sa dalawang BIR forms. 1701, 2316, easy. Okay. So yeah, doon naman tayo sa corporations. Ayan, corporations naman tayo. For corporations, ang form na gagamitin natin dyan is, teka, i-prepare ko lang. Saan na yun? 1702. Ayan. Alala nyo kanina yung annual income tax return for individual, 1701. For corporation, 1702. Ayan, okay. Meron din quarterly dito, pero syempre doon tayo sa annual. Sa iyo naman yung, hindi naman halos yung dalawa. Okay? Hindi naman sila nagkakalayo ng form, so doon na tayo sa annual. Okay. Let's go to the given first. Again, corporations, BIR form, 1702. Alright, so sales, nagbenta ng 10 million. Cost is 6 million. Salaries and wages, 1.2. Rentals, 500. Depreciation, 200. Bad debts, interest. Total expenses na allowable is 2 million. Okay. Sige. So, compute na natin. Kinumpute ko na para sa inyo. Compute mo natin yung regular corporate income tax. So, 10 million na gross sales. Minus natin yung cost of sales. Right? Kuha mo yung gross income. Minus mo yung deductions na 2 million. Multiply mo sa RSET natin, which is 30%. Okay? RSET mo makukuha is 600,000. And we know for corporations, subject siya sa minimum corporate income tax. 2% of gross income, so 4 million times 2%, 80,000. Piliin natin yung higher, obviously, RSET. So yung tax due natin is 600,000. Got it? Okay, so magre-refer tayo dito as we accomplish BIR form 1702. Ayan, 1702. Okay. So ang title nito, Annual Income Tax Return, Corporation, Partnership, Other Non-Individual Taxpayer Subject Only to Regular Income Tax Rate. So naalala nyo class, yung partnership, taxable siya same as corporations. Tama? Yun, kaya isang magkamukha yung form nila. Okay, calendar or fiscal? Calendar tayo, December 31. Okay, for year ended, December, okay, 2020. Amended return, no. Short period return, no. Alphanumeric tax code, subject tayo dyan sa MSIT, no. Pero, well, compute naman natin earlier, mas mataas yung RSIT natin. So, si taxpayer identification number, sabihin natin 123987654. Ayan, yun naman, para iba naman. RDO code, dun pa rin, 039. Okay, si registered name. So, gamitin naman natin si Bradfit. Okay, Bradfit Corporation, para mas maikli, BF na lang. BF Corporation. Corporation, ayan. Ayan, BF Corporation. Saan yung address ni BF Corporation? Kanina, 128, 129, 130 naman. Magkakatabi lang sila. 130, Maginhawa Street. Okay. Teachers Village. Quezon City. Ayan, kung gusto niyo makita yung mga gwapo yung lecturers, welcome na welcome kayo bumisita. Pero wag sa 130, 128 tayo. Okay? Baka kung saan kayo mapunta niyan sa 130. Okay, so let's see. So zip code is 1101. Date of incorporation, let's say January 1, sabihin natin 2010. Ayan. Contact number 0917-765-4321. Ayan, sige. Email address, sabihin natin na bfcorp@yahoo.com. Ayan. So Yahoo pa siya, yahoo.com. Method of deduction, so illustrate naman natin dito yung itemized. Ayan, itemized tayo. Kasi dalawa yan eh. Pwedeng itemized, pwedeng OSD. So itemized tayo. Again, ito yung first page. Ibig sabihin, dapat malaman ni BIR, ilagay mo na agad dyan. Okay? So, let's recap. Ang na-compute natin dito is 600,000 na RSET. Tax due. Ayan. So, tax due natin, lagyan na natin dito 600,000. Total tax credit payment, so wala tayo niyan, 0. 600,000. Add penalties, wala. One time tayo. Penalty, surcharge, interest compromise, wala niyan, 0. Total amount payable, 600,000. Okay, 600,000. Alright. So, gano'n na siya. Puro 600. Okay. If overpayment, so wala tayo dyan. And signature over printed name, lagyan natin dito si BF Corporation kung sino man yung representative niya, pipirma siya dyan. Okay. So, yun yung first page. Right? So, basic information of the taxpayer. In this case, corporate taxpayer naman. And then dito, yung magkano babayaran niya? 600,000. Okay. Let's go to page 2. Ayan. So sa page 2, nilagay ko na yung team, saka yung registered name, para efficient tayo. Computation of tax naman yan. So dito na yung details. So kung dito mo nilagay yung 600,000, yung summary, okay, dito yung details naman. Okay, so to recap, nagkaroon ng sales na 10 million and cost of sales na 6 million. Okay, so tandaan mo yun, 10 million and 6 million. Okay, so sales, receipts, revenues, dito natin nilagay yan, 10 million. Okay, so ingat ka lang dun sa boxes ha. Basta ano siya, thousands yan, thousands, 100,000 to millions. Okay, sales returns, wala tayo niyan, sales returns. So ibig sabihin, same yung net sales mo, 10 million. Cost of sales, 6 million. Okay, gross income, so minus natin yan, 4 million. Okay, add other taxable income, let's say wala tayong ganyan. And total taxable income, so 4 million. Okay. Next. Ordinary deductions. Ordinary allowable itemized deductions. Okay, so dito, 2 million yung total. If you remember, lalagyan natin siya dito. 2 million. Okay, special allowable itemized deductions, wala tayo niya. NOLCO, wala tayong NOLCO. Total deductions, 2 million. Add lang natin lahat. 2 million. Alright. Kung mapansin nyo class, nakalagay dito, or OSD. Pero kasi pinili natin earlier yung itemized deductions, kaya 2 million na compute natin. Pag OSD, obviously, 40% siya ng gross income. Okay, net taxable income. Ibig sabihin class, 4 million minus 2 million. Buha mo? So, lagay natin dito 2 million. So, 4 million minus 2 million is 2 million. Kung mapansin nyo, nakalagay dito sa parentheses, again, ito yung guide natin. Item 33, if itemized daw, yung item 33, i-less mo yung item 37. So, item 33, less mo yung item 37. This is yung ginawa natin. If OSD naman, item 33 less item 38. So, item 33 less item 38 if nag-OSD tayo. Alright? So, again, pag nandito ka mag-fill out ng forms, titingin ka lang sa yung guide sa'yo dyan. Okay? Applicable income tax rate for now. Okay? 30% gamitin natin. Pero obviously sa create, iba na yan. I-discuss natin yan next time. Okay, so 2 million times 30% income tax due other than MSIT. Huwag mo muna ilalagay yung MSIT. So 2 million times 30% is 600,000. Okay, MSIT, naalala niyo yung na-compute natin na MSIT kanina? 80,000, tama? So 2%. MSIT tax due 2% of item 33. Ayun, no? 2% of item 33, multiply mo sa item 33. 4 million times 2%, 80,000. Tax due, normal income tax or MSIT, whichever is higher. Obviously, 600,000 yung higher. Okay. What else? Tax due, tax credit payments, wala tayo niyan. Okay. And then, net tax payable, copy lang natin yan, we have 600,000. Alright? So basically, sa page 2, computation ng tax. Nagay natin yung sales, okay, yung cost of sales natin, deductions, yung RSIT, MSIT, tingnan natin yung mas mataas, okay? Pinapakita mo pa rin yung MSIT, di ba? Kahit mas mataas yung RSIT mo. Ayan. So, that's page 2. Let's go to page 3. Ayun. Sa page 3 naman, makikita na natin dyan, class, yung itemized deductions. Okay? So, as you notice, may nakalagay na default expenses dito. Yun yung mga allowable na deductions sa atin eh. Nakalagay na dyan. Ito yung di-discuss natin sa class. Naalala nyo pa? Okay? So, balikan natin yung given. For this illustration, nag-assume tayo na meron tayong 5 expenses. Salaries and wages, 1.2 million. Nasaan yun? Salaries and wages. Lagay natin siya sa number 13. Okay? 1.2 million. So, lagay natin dito, 1.2 million. Okay, next. Rentals, 500,000. Titingnan mo lang dyan sa list of expenses. Nasaan yung rentals dyan? Yun, 11 rentals. How much ulit? 500,000? 500,000. Okay. Next. Depreciation, 200,000. Depreciation, yun, 200,000. Next item is bad debts, 50,000 and interest, 50,000. So, bad debts, ito siya. Okay, bad debts, interest, 50,000. Yun. So, doon mo siya lalagay yung itemized deductions. Kaya itemized, isa-isahin natin yan. 50 plus 200, so inad na natin to earlier, 2 million yung total niyan. Saan mo lalagay yung 2 million? Dito siya. Total ordinary allowable deductions, 2 million. Okay. Sige. And special allowable deductions, wala tayo niyan. So, yung 2 million na yan, kung maalala nyo class, ito siya, di ba? Ito yun, no? Kaya nakalagay dito, ordinary allowable deductions, mapapansin nyo naka-refer siya sa Part 6, Schedule 1, Item 18. Ito siya. Part 6, Schedule 1, Item 18. Buka nyo? So, naka-cross-refer siya dito sa page na ba. Alright? Ayun. Meron pa? Oh, meron pa pala. Meron pa tayong page 4. Okay. Pero dito sa page 4 na yan, class, well, again, yung focus natin yun is maging komportable kayo sa pag-fill out ng forms. Okay, yung computation, wag na yan. Pero FYI na lang, ano yung makikita mo sa last page? Basically, yung null ko. Wala tayong null ko sa given natin. Okay, so basically, yung details lang kung paano ka nag-compute ng null ko. And yung MSET, okay? Kung may excess MSET ka, naalala nyo pa yung rules sa excess MSET, naki-carry over siya, tama? And then, same as individuals, mayroong requirement sa last part na reconciliation. I-recon mo yung net income per books and taxable income. Alright? So, mag-start ka with net income per books, add non-deductible expenses. So, basically, reconcile natin yung accounting income, yung taxable income. Yun yung last part. Alright? Ayan, hanggang page 4, yung Form 1702. I-recap ulit natin. Form 1702, basically, annual income tax return siya. Applicable to corporations, partnerships, and others are taxable at 30%. Right? So basic information of the corporate taxpayer, lagay natin sa harap. Dito yung kailangan makita agad ni BAR, yung babayaran mo, 600,000 here. Doon naman sa page 2, basically yung computation natin. Okay? So yung gross sales, minus returns, minus allowances, minus cost of sales. And then pakita mo yung ordinary deductions, total muna dito. Right? And then pakita mo yung RSET and MSET. And then whichever is higher, yun yung tax due natin. For page 3 naman, class, doon mo na makikita yung itemized deductions. Titingnan mo lang kung saan nag-fall, anong category yung mga deductions natin. Alright? So, yung page 4 naman, yun yung null ko, MSET, and reconciliation. Alright? So, that's BIR Form 1702. Okay, ilan na tayo? Ba, nakatatlo na agad tayo Dalawa na lang. Sir, ano ba yung next natin? Para kumpleto tayo. Illustrate ko din sa inyo paano kapag mag-fill out ka naman ng estate tax return. Okay? Kompleto tayo dito. Transfer tax. Ayan. Estate tax yung illustrate natin. Sige. For estate tax, yung form na gagamitin natin is estate tax return form 1801. Ayan. 1801. Okay. Sige. Ito yung given natin, class. So, yung given natin, again, estate tax, BIR form 1801. Okay. So, real properties, personal properties, naalala niyo pa yung exclusive and conjugal. Okay? So real, 15, 20, 4 million and 6 million sa personal. Ordinary deductions, 1 million and 3 million. Okay, numpit ko na yung estate tax nyo para hindi ka na mahirapan. Okay, so yung gross estate natin, syempre nilagay natin yung real properties, exclusive and conjugal. Total natin yan. So 15 plus 20, meron kang 35. Personal properties, 4 million, 6 million, 10 million yan. Add mo yan, 19, 26, 45. Tama? Ordinary deductions na attributable sa exclusive, 1 million. Sa conjugal naman, 3 million. 19 minus 1, 18. 26 minus 3, 23. 45 minus 4, 41. Alright? And then, kung maalala nyo, class, sa estate tax, meron tayong tinatawag na special deductions. Standard deduction na 5 million. Family home na 10 million. And then, ano sir, yung share of surviving spouse. Naalala nyo, yun yung purpose of conjugal. Kaya meron na column na conjugal. Kasi yung gross estate after ordinary deductions, yung kalahati niyan, times 50%, yun siya. Share of surviving spouse yan. Hindi yan pag may-ari nung namatay, di ba? Yung spouse niya yung may-ari dyan. Kaya mina-minus natin yan. Hindi yan kasama sa taxable estate. So, 41 minus 26.5, makukuha natin yung 14.5 and we know yung estate tax rate natin is 6%. Estate tax due mo for this problem is 870,000. Okay, so remember this Okay, anyway, magre-refer naman tayo dyan. While we fill out estate tax return, BIR form number 1801. Okay? Sige. Date of death. Let's say December 15. Okay, 2020. Ayan. Amended return. No. Number of sheets attached. Let's say marami si John Lloyd, marami siyang properties, no? Yung description nun, will be natin 5 pages. Okay, number of sheets attached, 5. Kasi pwede ka mag-attach dito. Diba? Kasi 2 pages lang to. Kung mas marami kang details na gusto i-provide, yung supporting details mo, dapat mag-attach ka ng sheets pa dyan. 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. RDO code, 039. Estate of De La Cruz. John Lloyd. Ayan. Residence of Dissident. Ano nga ba yung ginamit ko kanina? 128 yata. 128. Maginhawa. Street. Teachers Village. Teachers Village. Quezon City. Again, kung gusto niyo bumisita, welcome na welcome kayo dito. Kung gusto niyo mag-gym, ayan, magbuhat tayo dito. Meron din. Meron tayong mga weights dito. Okay, so welcome na welcome kayo dito, class. Non-resident alien, no. Name of executor, administrator. Siya yung bahala mag-manage yung estate. Sino pa ba kamukha ko ng artista? Sige, Derek na lang, para realistic. Derek De La Cruz ang pangalan niya. De La Cruz. Derek. Ayan. Team of executor, administrator. Let's say 987-654-321. Lagyan natin ang tatlong zeros. Okay. Contact number, 0917-123-4567. Ayan. Sige, try nyo i-text yan. Natin kung magre-reply. Okay. Email address, derekdc@gmail.com. Ayan. Are you availing tax relief? No. Okay. Sige. Next is, ayan. Again, parang sa corporations lang din, dapat yung next na makikita, yun agad yung babayaran mo. Okay? So, tingnan natin yung total tax payable. Net taxable estate. Nasaan yun? Yun, yung 14.5. Okay? 14.5. Net taxable estate. Lagay natin dito. 14.5 million. Alright? So, malagay ng 2 zero dyan. Times 6%. Okay? Hindi na-compute natin earlier. 870,000. So, 14.5 times 6%. 870,000 yung estate tax due. Alright? May credit payments ba tayo? Wala. Zero yan. 0, 0. Ngayon, 0, 0, 0. Tax payable is still 870,000. Okay. Less portion of tax allowed for payment by installment. Let's say hindi tayo mag-installment. Alright. So, tax payable natin is 870,000. Okay. Penalty, surcharge, interest. Wala tayo yan. On time tayo magbayad. So, 870,000 here. And then, signature over printed name of... Siyempre, yung signature over printed name ng executor, hindi yung decedent, ha? Okay, syempre, patay na yun eh. So, si Derek dyan. Then, pipirma lang siya dyan. Okay? So, sa first page of Estate Tax Return 1801, nandito yung personal information, basic information of the decedent, and the executor administrator. And then, dito, lagay mo na yung net taxable estate, times 6%, 870. Yun dapat yung makita agad ni BIR sa'yo. Alright? 870. Ano kaya yung nasa second page? Ayun, yung computation na supporting computation. Actually, class, yung supporting computation dito, yung computation of tax, kung paano natin siya kino-compute sa class, ganoon din halos. Alright? Sige, so tingnan natin. Recap nga natin yung given. Meron tayong real properties, 15, 20, personal, 4, and 6. Okay? So, real properties excluding family home. Okay, so excluding family, let's say yung family home nandito sa conjugal. So, 15 million yung exclusive. Let's say nandito yung family home na 10M. Kunwari na lang 10M yung fair market value ng family home. Okay? Kasi nakalagay excluding daw. So, 15 million. Okay, 15 million. And then, ilan to? So, kung 20, 10 yung family home, so 20 yung matitira. 10 yung matitira. So, 10 dito. Okay. And then yung family home dito natin lagay. Right? Sige. Total. So, 15 plus 10. Lagay natin dito yung 25 million. Okay. Lagyan ng 0, 0. 10 million to. Okay. So, syempre, be careful na lang sa number of digits. No? Minsan kasi nakakalito yung boxes na yan. Pero, practice lang yan. Okay. Doon naman tayo sa personal properties. Personal properties, 4 million and 6 million. Saan siya? Dito. 4 million. 6 million. And lagi may total yan. 4 plus 6 is 10 million. Okay. Next, taxable transfer, wala tayo yan. Business interest, gross estate, ayun. Sum of items, 29 to 33. Add mo daw yan. So, 15 plus 4, 19 million. 10 plus 10 plus 6, 26 million. 26 plus 19 or 25 plus 10 plus 10, 45 million. Alright, so, ayan, gross estate. Less ordinary deductions. So, yung ordinary deductions natin class, 1 million and 3 million. Okay, 1 million. 3 million. 1 plus 3, 4 million. Lagyan natin 0, 0 here. 19 minus 1, 18 million. 26 minus 3, 23 million. 45 minus 4, 41 million. Or 18 plus 23, 41 million. Okay? Di ba ganito lang din tayo magsagot sa class ng estate? Ng estate tax, di ba? And then after that, special deduction. Standard deduction, 5 million. Standard yan. Standard, 5 million. Family home, 10 million. Okay? Other specify, okay? So total special, 15 million. Net estate, item 36 less item 37. Nasaan yung 36? Ito. Less item 37, D15. So 41 minus 15, 26 million. Yun, share of surviving spouse. Tama? 23 million. Ano ba yung na-compute natin na share of surviving spouse kanina? 11.5. 23 times 50%, 11.5. 11.5. Okay, so 26 minus 11.5, 14.5 million. This is our net taxable estate, 14.5 million. Okay. So class dito, dun sa next part na schedule, huwag natin fill outan to, pero papakita ko na sa inyo kung ano yung mga nandyan. Basically, ito yung details nito. Okay? Details ng real properties. Nakalagay dyan yung TCT number, location, area, ilang square meters, ano yung classification ng property na yan, fair market value, zonal value, alam natin gagamitin mo whichever is higher, at kung exclusive or conjugal. Okay? So dyan, mga details lang yan. Details ng family home, location, area, classification, fair market value, zonal value, whichever is exclusive, conjugal, etc. Ito naman, so kung real property is, dito mo naman talaga yung details ng personal properties mo. Alright? So basically, itong portion na to class, itong part 5 na yan, details lang yan nito. Okay? Got it? Sige. Uy, 2 pages lang pala yung estate tax return. Let's review. Estate tax return is BIR form number 1801. Okay, so lagay mo dito yung basic details of the decedent and executor and administrator. Dito lagay mo yung kung magkano yung babayaran, 870,000. So second page, yung typical computation natin sa class. Meron kang column for exclusive, column for conjugal, meron kang total, ordinary deductions, and then may special deductions ka dito. And then don't forget yung share of surviving spouse, net taxable estate na 1,450. Kaya dito class nakalagay, may naka-refer dyan eh. From part 4, item 40. Ano ba yung part 4? Yun no? Part 4, item 40. 1,450,000. Kaya actually class, kung mag-fill out ka ng form na to, ideally, unahin mo muna to. Yung supporting computation bago mo ilagay ito. Pero kasi ginawa natin, nag-compute na tayo agad. Kaya alam natin din kung ano ilalagay natin sa first page of the estate tax return. Okay? Uy, ilan na yun? Ba? Naka-4 na tayo ah. Last one. Sir, ano yung last na form na illustrate mo sa amin? Doon tayo sa favorite topic mo. VAT naman tayo. Okay? So sa VAT, meron tayong tinatawag na BIR form. Nasaan na yun? BIR form 2550. Yun, 2550. Ngayon, yung BIR form 2550 na yung class, hindi siya. Q. Nakita mo may Q? Ibig sabihin quarter. Quarterly yan. Okay? Kung maalala mo class, yung VAT, binabayaran siya. Nagpa-file ka niyan every month and every quarter. So, ang i-illustrate ko sa inyo yung quarterly. Kasi halos ganun din naman yung gagawin mo sa 2550M, yung monthly. Alright? So, cumulative. Again, pag quarterly, ang computation lagi natin is cumulative for 3 months. Sige. Sir, ano ba yung mga given natin dyan? Okay, ito yung given natin. Again, VAT, BIR form 2550Q. Meron tayong sales, VATable sales to private entities, 1 million. Exempt sales, 500,000. Sales to the government, ba, kompleto sir 300,000 and export sales, 200,000. Total niyan, 2 million. Okay? So to recap, alam natin ang may output VAT dyan, itong VATable sales, may output VAT na 12%, exempt wala. Sales to the government, meron yan, pero meron pa tayong standard input VAT dyan, kung maalala nyo. Export sales, zero rated yan, so 0%. Okay? Recap lang. Sales to private, ito class, ito yung purchases. Lagyan natin purchases. Okay? Sales to private entities, so obviously ito yung mga source ng input VAT mo. So let's say binili mo siya from VAT registered suppliers. Okay? Sales to private entities, 500 yung binili mo, yung purchases mo dyan. So 150 for exempt, sales to government 100, and then export sales 50,000. Total purchases na may input VAT is 800,000. Alright? Purchase of depreciable capital goods, 3 million. Okay, alam natin class, capital goods, ang rule dun is, pwede mo siyang i-amortize over 60 months, tama? Or the life, whichever is lower, maximum yung 60 months. So hindi mo i-amortize over 7 years, 5 years lang or 60 months. And then meron tayong excess input tax credit from previous quarter. Okay, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung input tax mo from your output tax last quarter, 10,000. And then yung binayaran mo ng VAT, kasi per quarter to, di ba? Prepare natin quarterly. Ibig sabihin, may prepare ka na rin for the first 2 months. Nagbayad ka na ng worth 30,000. Okay? Sige. Let's go to form. Again, quarterly VAT return 2550Q. So, fill out natin. For the year ended, o calendar year muna tayo. Month and year, December 2020. Okay? Labihan natin na first quarter. And, okay. Amended return, no. Short period return, no. Okay. Sige. Return period. So, lagyan natin January 1, 2020 up to March 31. Tama? March 31, 2020. 3 months. Okay. TIN. Okay. So, yung TIN natin dito, ano ba ginamit natin kay BF Corporation? Anyway, kung ano lang, 987. 654,321. Okay? RDO code 039. Number of sheets attached. So let's just say may 4 na sheets naka-attach dyan. Retail line of business, ano ba yung business ni BF Corporation? Let's say nagbebenta siya ng workout supplements. Lagyan natin retail. Nagbebenta siya ng workout supplements. Ayan, mga pan-gym. Okay? Taxpayer's name, si BF Corporation, Bradfit Corporation. And location niya, address 130 Maginhawa Street. Okay. Teachers Village, Quezon City. Ayan. So, pag bumisita ka dito, pwede kitang benta ng supplements. Okay? Zip code 1101. Lagyan natin ang telephone number. Kasi 720-1234. Ayan. Random lang. Okay. Are you availing of tax relief? No? Ayan. So, ayan. Sige. Ito yung medyo marami-raming details. No? Kailangan natin i-fill out. Ngayong class, take note. Dito, lalagay natin lahat ng sales nila. Nakalagay, vatable sales, sales to government, zero-rated sales, and exempt sales. Ilalagay natin dito yan. Sige, isa-isahin natin. For vatable sales to private entities, 1 million. So, dito natin siya lalagay. Okay. Next is sale to government. Nasaan yun? Sale to government, 300,000. 300,000. Zero-rated sales. Zero-rated sales. Yun yung export sales, 200,000. Exempt sales. Nasaan yun, sir? Exempt sales, ayun, 500,000. Pag tinutal mo yan, 1 million plus 300 plus 200 plus 500, 2 million. Okay? Ngayon, dito class, output tax, di 12% yun. Di ba? May output tax yung vatable sales natin. So, 1 million times 12%, 120,000. Sale to government, ilagay mo muna yung 12% dyan. Okay? May minus tayo dyan. Alala nyo yung standard input VAT, yung mga ganun. Mamaya yun, okay? Pero, sale to government, ano yan? Oh, tama. Kasi may binibidhold dun eh. Mamaya, review natin yan. 300,000 times 12%, 36,000. As you notice, wala dito. Yung dalawa. Kasi nga, zero rated, 0%. So, nonsense na maglagay ka pa ng box dyan. Exempt sales, wala din yan. Tama? Kaya, may space dyan. 120 plus 36, 156,000. Okay? And, sige. So, ayan. Ito muna yung pwede mong i-fill out sa first page. Okay? And then, bago natin i-continue to, hindi, sige, continue na pala natin. Tingnan natin. Ano yung next? Less allowable input tax. Input tax carried over from the previous quarter. Meron ba tayo nun? Carried over. Ito. Input tax from previous quarter, 10,000. So, lagay mo siya dito. 10,000. Kung nalilito ka, kasi baka hindi align. Kung nalilito ka na ganun, 20A, nakita mo, 20A. 20A. Ayun. Doon yung reference mo. Para laging accurate yung nilalagyan mo ng amounts. Okay. Input tax deferred on capital goods exceeding previous quarter yan eh. Wala tayo yan. Transitional, presumptive, others, etc. So, total natin yan. Meron tayong 10,000. Okay, doon tayo sa purchases. Alright. So, ito yung naging purchases natin for the period. Okay. Meron tayong total purchases na 800,000. Okay. And then, nag-purchase tayo ng depreciable capital goods na 3 million. So, tandaan nyo, may dalawa. 3 million and 800,000. Okay. Purchase of capital goods not exceeding 1 million. Hindi, nag-exceed tayo. Exceeding 1 million, 3 million yung binili natin. Tama? Ito siya. 3 million. Okay? So, dito mo siya lalagay. 3 million. And then, ang lalagay mo dito, class, yung nakamultiply na 12%. Mamaya na tayo mag-amortize. So, 3 million times 12%, 360,000. Okay? Next, domestic purchases of goods. Ito. Yung 800,000. Okay? So, 800,000, lagay mo siya sa domestic purchases of goods. Dito, 800,000. Multiply mo yan by 12%. 800 times 12%, 96,000. Importation, wala tayo niyan. Purchase of services, wala, etc. 360 plus 96, 456,000. Tama? 456,000. Total available input tax, 456,000. Okay. Ayan. So, basically, nilagay natin yung sales, okay, per type ng binentahan natin. So, private, government, zero-rated, exempt. Nilagay natin isa-isa. Multiply natin by 12%. Or yung iba, wala. 0% kasi yan. Or exempt. And then, allowable input tax, ang nire-refer nito yung previous quarter, ha? Okay, yung previous quarter, which is 10,000 sa given natin. Dito naman, yung sources of input tax natin, diniretso natin multiply by 12%. Okay? So, in-add natin yung dalawa, we got total available input tax. Okay? So, before we continue yan, okay, yung malalagay mong amounts dyan, manggagaling sa next page. Okay? Manggagaling sa next page yan. Ayan. Sige. Sir, ano yung next page na yan? So, basically, yan yung computation lang natin yan. Supporting computation. Alright. Schedule 1, schedule of sales, receipts, and output tax. Kung maaalala nyo, class, yung binenta natin, ito yung subject to output tax na 12% sa private. Okay? How much yun? Yung 1 million na binenta natin. Lagyan mo dyan, 1 million yung amount. Times 12%, output tax for the quarter is 120,000. Kasi itong industries covered by VAT, actually sa next page, mapapansin nyo, merong industries yan. Alphanumeric tax codes or ATC. Ito yun, industries covered by VAT. May code yan, so lalagay mo yung code. Ano yung business natin? Nagbebenta ng workout supplements. So, saan kaya yun? Meron ba dito nun? May mga others naman eh. Pero let's say, ito na lang. Yung wholesale and retail. Ayan, ito na lang gamitin natin. Ang code niya is VT010. Ayun, ATC or alphanumeric tax code. So, wholesale and retail. Lagay ko dito. Okay, wholesale and retail. And then, VT010. Okay, yun yung tax code natin. Alright? Next, purchase of capital goods, aggregate amount, not exceeding. Then, nag-exceed tayo. Not exceeding nakalagay. So, skip natin yan. Purchase of capital goods, aggregate amount exceeds 1 million. 3 million yung binili natin. Ay, naalala nyo? 3 million ito. Let's say, binili siya noong January 1 na lang. Para simple. January 1, 2020. Description. Let's say, equipment. Equipment na lang. Equipment. Net, or amount net of VAT. Ibig sabihin, wala pang VAT. 3 million. Okay, total 3 million. Input tax, C times 12%. C times 12%. 3 million times 12%, 360,000. So, sundin lang natin. 360,000. Estimated life in months, 7 years nakalagay dito. 7 times 12, 84. Recognized life in months. Useful life or 60 months, whichever is shorter. Hindi 60 gagamitin natin. Yun. Alam niyo na yung rule na yan, di ba? Maximum natin is 60 months. Allowable input tax for the period. Paano yun, sir? So, gagawin ko dyan, yung 360,000 na input tax, i-amortize ko over 60 months. So, 360,000 divided by 60, quarterly yan. Take by 3. Tama? 360 divided by 60 times 3, 18,000 to. Right? Hindi mo gagamitin yung 84. Lalagay mo na siya dyan, pero hindi mo siya gagamitin. Balance of input tax to be carried to next period. D less GH. D less G. D, ito, yung total na 12% minus yung na-amortize mo for 3 months. 360 minus 18,000, 342,000. Buha mo yan? Ito daw yung carried to next period. Sabihin, i-amortize mo pa siya. Future amortization pa yan. 342,000. Okay. Next. Purchase importations of previous quarters. Okay. Total input tax deferred for future period. Ito siya. 342,000. Laba lang natin yan. Alright. Next. Input tax attributable to sale to government. Diba? Yung schedule 4 about sale to government. Yung given natin, may sales to government tayo na 300,000. So, 300,000 times 12%, 36,000 yan. Lagay ko yung solution dito. 300,000 times 12%, yun, lagay natin dyan. Input tax directly attributable. Ayan. Kasi alam natin na yung 300 para sa government talaga yan. Okay? 12%, 36,000. Hindi ko alam kung sino binibentahan ng workout supplement sa government. Pero let's say meron. Gumagamit sila ng Bradford Corporation's workout supplement. Okay. Add rateably portion of input tax not directly attributable. Ito kasi attributable. Naalala nyo yun? Pag not directly attributable, nag-allocate tayo. Ang hindi attributable, yung 18,000. Let's say yung equipment na yan, ginagamit sa lahat ng sales mo. Yun, ipo-prorate mo yan. Yun, okay? Sir, paano i-prorate yan? Yun, sales. So, government, 300,000, yung total sales, 2 million. Gagawin ko dyan, 300,000 over 2 million times yung not directly attributable, yung 18,000 times 18,000, 2,700 makuha mo dyan. So, double check mo na lang, 300,000 divided by 2 million times 18,000, 21,000. Or 2,700. 27. Okay? So, add lang natin, 36,000 plus 27, 38,700. So, ano ginawa mo dito? Inallocate ko lang. Kasi hindi mo alam kung... Ito kasi ginagamit sa lahat yan. Tama? So, pinakamagandang allocation dyan, yung sales mo. Less standard input tax to sale to government. Ba? Ano nga ba, sir, yung standard input tax? 7%. Okay? Magkano binenta mo sa government? 300,000. Times mo sa 7%, makukuha mo dyan 21,000. Ima-minus mo yan. Di ba? Naaralan natin yan sa VAT natin. 38,700 minus 21,000, 17,000, tama? 17,700. Okay, 17,700. Got it? Uy, meron din ditong input tax attributable to exempt sales. Ganun din yung gagawin natin. Okay, ano yung exempt sales natin? 500,000. Okay, 500,000 times 12%, 36,000. Sorry, 500,000 times 12%, 60,000. Right? Attributable. Alam mo na nagbenta ka ng 500 sa exempt sales. Okay. Ngayon, same as yung sa government, ginawa natin, ganun din gagawin natin sa exempt sales. So, 500,000 over 2 million times 18,000. Eh, pare, divide by 2 million times 18,000, meron kang 4,500 here. Add mo yan, 64,500. Yun. Ayan. So, yung process na ginawa niya sa government saka sa exempt sales, magkamukha lang. Pakita ko sa inyo later kung bakit siya ganun ginawa sa kanya. Alright, so dito, tax withheld claim as tax credit, wala niya tayo niyan. Schedule of advance payment, wala tayo niyan. VAT withheld on sales to government. Naalala niyo yung withholding VAT sa government. Ilang percent yung class? 5%. Di ba? So, period covered, let's say March 2020. Okay. Name of withholding agent, lagyan natin Philippine government. Philippine government. Naalala mo yun, pag nagbenta ka sa government, minaminus niya agad yung output tax mo dun. Income payment, how much ba yung binenta mo sa government? 300,000. Tama? So, 300,000 times 5%. Yun yung withhold niya, 5%. Tama? Makukuha mo dyan, 15,000. So, total, 15,000. Okay, so to recap, yung nakalagay dito sa page 2, which is actually parang ito yung pinakamarami natin nilagyan na form so far. Nandyan yung output VAT mo na sale to vatable sales mo. Okay? Nandito yung capital goods na exceeding 1 million. Kinumpute natin yung for the quarter and yung balance pa ng i-amortize mo. Tama? Kasi pwede mo siyang amortize over 60 months. Nandito yung sale to government, directly attributable and not directly attributable. Pag directly attributable, diretsyon 12%. Pag not directly attributable, prorate. Don't forget na may standard input tax ka dyan. Ma-minus natin yan. And gagawin mo rin yun sa exempt sales. Directly attributable, not directly attributable. Siyempre, yung standard input tax, applicable lang sa government. Okay? So yeah, balik tayo dito sa first page. Alright. Okay, so nahinto tayo dito kanina sa total available input tax. Kung mapapansin nyo, class, ang ginawa natin kanina dito, diretso multiply ng 12%. Kumbaga total yung kinumpit natin dito. Pero alam natin na hindi yan lahat ng deductible input tax mo kasi may capital goods ka na i-amortize, meron ka sa government, meron ka mga exempt, etc. Alright? So yun yung next na gagawin natin. Alright, deductions from input tax. Input tax on purchase of capital goods exceeding 1 million deferred for the succeeding period. Schedule 3. Uy, Schedule 3. Ito. Yung dinefer natin, 342,000. Yun, nalagay mo siya dito. 342,000. Okay? Next, input tax on sale to government close to expense. Schedule 4. Saan yung close to expense natin? Schedule 4. Close to expense. Ito, oh. Di ba yung close to expense, yung minus na natin yung standard input VAT? E di 17,700. Lagyan natin siya dito. 17,700. Alright? Next, input tax on sale. Yun na pala yun. 23B. Next, 23C. Input tax allocable to exempt sales. Schedule 5. Schedule 5. Ayun. 64,500. 64,500. Okay. Meron ba tayong VAT refund? Wala. Others. Total na sum 23A. Sum natin to. 342,000 plus 17,700 plus 64,500. Okay. So double check mo na lang. Pero yung total ko dito sa 24 is 400. Sa 23F total dito. 424,200. Okay. Tinotal ko yung tatlo. Nakuha yung 424,200. Total allowable input tax. Item 22 less item 23. Item 22 less item 23. 456,000. Okay, minus 424,200, makukuha mo is 31,800. 31,800. Yun yung allowable input VAT mo. Okay? So, ganito class ha. Ito yung total input VAT. Pero hindi yan lahat pwede mo i-deduct. Kasi, again, may mga exempt dyan, meron sa government, etc. Hindi may mga i-amortize ka. So, kumbaga, itong tatlo na yan, or ito, basically, ito yung not deductible. Tama? Kaya yung total minus yung not deductible, yun yung deductible or allowable input tax. Nakuha mo sa presentation? So sa presentation sa VAT, total muna, tapos minus mo lang yung not deductible. Alright? Net VAT payable. So sa yung output VAT natin dito. 156,000, ito yung output VAT mo. Tama? Yung 156. Ito, 156. Minus mo yung 31,800. Makukuha mo dito is 124,200. So basically, output tax minus input tax. So output tax na 156 minus yung allowable input tax na 31,800. Makukuha yung 144,200. Okay. Next. Monthly payments. Previous 2 months. Nagbayad ba tayo previous 2 months? Yes. Meron tayo even. Kung maalala nyo, meron tayong yung January and Feb. Nagbayad na tayo ng 30,000. So minus 30,000. And tradable withholding tax withheld. Yun. Kung makakalimutan itong VAT withheld sales to government. Naalala nyo to? Sabi dyan, Schedule 8. Ito yun, no? Di ba withhold ito ni government yung 15,000? Lagay mo siya dito. 15,000, 26D, yung 15,000. 30,000 plus 15,000. Total natin dyan is 45,000. So yung kailangan pong bayaran, 124,200 minus 45,000, 75,200. Okay, total amount payable. 75,000, tama, 75 ba? 79,200. 79,200. So basically, net payable minus yung nabayaran mo na. Ito yung total amount payable mo for VAT, 79,200. To recap, quarterly VAT return, 2550Q. Okay, cumulative for 3 months, meron tayong 2550M. Yun yung per month. Basic details of the taxpayer. Ito yung output VAT, multiply lang natin by, so kinategorize natin siya, private, government, zero rated, exempt, multiply natin by 12%. Okay? And then allowable input VAT sa previous quarter to. Ito yung sa current, no? Current transactions. As you notice, minultiply agad natin by 12% lahat kasi ang pinapakita mo na dito yung total input VAT mo. And then ima-minus natin yung hindi allowable, not allowable na input VAT for the period. Kaya yung total minus yung not allowable or not deductible, makuha mo yung total allowable input VAT. Output minus input, yun yung VAT payable mo. Don't forget, nagbayad ka na before, yung first 2 months, and yung winithhold mo sa government na 5%, or in this case, 15,000, makukuha mo yung total amount payable. Sa page 2, nandyan yung supporting computation mo. Ito yung output VAT, ito yung capital goods, ito yung sale to government, XM sales. Kailangan may supporting computation ka dyan kasi i-carry over mo siya sa first page. Okay, yun yung mga hindi deductible. Alright, and don't forget this one, yung last part. Schedule 8, yun yung winithhold mo sa government na 5%. Yun, that's it. That's how you fill out quarterly VAT return 2550Q. Okay? Class, hopefully natuto kayong mag-fill out ng BIR form. So very important yan sa upcoming board exam. And actually, yan na yung last topic natin sa review natin in taxation. And hopefully, na-meet natin yung 2 objectives. Number 1, which is the most important, to prepare you for the upcoming CPA board exam. But honestly, I'm very confident na kayang-kaya nyo yung taxation in the boards. And number 2, sana na-appreciate nyo yung taxation and i-consider nyo yan as your career path once CPAs na kayo lahat. So even though killer subject yung taxation, hopefully na-appreciate nyo kung paano handle yung review classes natin. So I tried my best na gawing basic, efficient, but at the same time comprehensive yung discussions natin. And I'm confident naman, I believe, na lahat ng lessons na kailangan nyo malaman about tax na covered in the board exam, na-discuss ko lahat yan. Okay? So magkikita pa tayo sa second pre-board discussion natin and sa pre-week. So that's it. Dismissed and I'll see you again soon.